On today's episode of Anime Afterthought, Noblesse, episode 13, Noblesse, Take Our Hand. Ask and ye shall receive. What did I want in the season 1 finale? A climactic battle between the Noblesse Raizel and the Lord Raskreia, and boy howdy did we get it. Now before we get to what we learned, let's talk about what we saw. Today's episode was literally amazing. I loved every second of this climactic fight. I loved how every clan leader underestimated Raizel so much. Each one thinking the strength they possessed was enough to take down the Noblesse. Kiru and his soul weapon Garant taking on the form of gauntlets. Rosaria Eleanor and her soul weapon Blood Witch. And Ludus Mergas, whose soul weapon Isarok takes on the form of a sword and shield and has the ability to create barriers. Each one confronted Raizel through fists of fury, through aura beams, hell, even creating a barrier to shrink around him. But it's glaringly obvious that none of them can stand toe-to-toe with the Noblesse. None of them but the Lord herself. But she too falls victim to arrogance or overconfidence. Summoning her soul weapon, she begins her assault. A barrage of attacks that eerily resemble Raizel's himself. But with her blood-red slashes being easily countered, there seems to be one option left. Her ultimate move, Bloodfield. But even this is not enough to take down the Noblesse. Shocked and dismayed, it seems all is lost. Her time has come. Kneeling before the Noblesse. Has she lost the will to fight? No, the clan leaders will not have this. Creating a makeshift barricade between the Noblesse and Lord, they once again raise their arms and prepare to fight. But nothing seems to work, and this was before Raizel summoned a blood field of his own. Seeing the clan leaders in such desperation, Raskreia jumps to action, resulting in a blood field to blood field clash. And it seems finally she was able to scratch the Noblesse. But there was one thing missing from this battle: Raizel's intent to kill. It seems that wasn't the point. Much like Gedgetel, there was a lesson to be learned. You are the Lord of all nobles. That is your power. We see him reference her inability to bring forth the Lord's true power throughout the entirety of this battle. So when she finally has reached this precipice, Raizel finally seems pleased. Finally content with her actions as an actual lord, he summons the Ragnarok, the soul weapon entrusted to him by the previous lord. It seems much like Rhaegar, the former lord's soul weapons was split into two, and with the two halves finally in each other's presence, a remnant of the previous lord's soul is awakened, and with it a message: the truth behind his eternal sleep. Today's episode showcases a lot of subtextual things. First and foremost, the respect, the admiration, the almost undying allegiance that the clan leaders show the Lord. It's more than just her position of power. As we learn in today's episode, everyone basically was granted their position through this ceremonious calling of the older generation. So everyone was quite literally thrusted into their new role at the same time. And that bond they share is truly highlighted in today's episode. But I gotta say, the biggest shock in today's episode is the reason for their ascension, and in turn, the reason why Raskreia thinks Raizel is a traitor. See, the previous lord was fascinated by humans. Humanity in general had this trait. With their shortened lifespan, they have this instinct, this innate desire to live, to struggle for one more day, to get stronger. He truly admired humanity's potential for evolution, something he saw the nobles lack with their almost perpetual living lives, so he made a decision. He himself would enter eternal sleep, and those who wished to accompany him may join him by passing on the noble baton to the next generation. It seems but a few souls took him up on his offer, including Rhaegar, Kurtia, and Gedgetel, the latter being stopped at the Lord's behest and given a special task, overseeing the next generation of nobles. And this is where it seems the seeds of betrayal begin to sow. Soon after the Lord's decision, it seems rumors began spreading that this was a sign of betrayal, and the traitor responsible was none other than the Noblesse Raizel himself. Raskreia's overall behavior now makes sense. Not only was she passed over in favor of the Noblesse, but the man entrusted with the future of the nobles by her father has betrayed him. Of course, she would feel the need to retaliate, for retribution, for revenge. And Gedgetel, knowing the truth, not only that this was the Lord's decision, but Raizel was in fact innocent, decided to use this. This common enemy would strengthen the bonds between the between clan leaders and the Lord. But once again, withholding the truth from the Lord is a punishable offense. But he truly was caught between a rock and a hard place, between the promise of the previous Lord and taking care of his daughter. But in the end, I am so glad at the decision Raskreia made, much to the behest of every clan leader, even Raizel, Frank, everyone is there in attendance, pleading with the current Lord to show mercy, breaking the chains that bind him, embracing Getchitel, and uttering those words felt such a relief yet overwhelming sadness. There's no way I could kill you. When I was lonely, you were there for me. If anyone has brought these nobles together, it's this old man right here. But now that the truth is known, it seems that the nobles can finally move on, specifically Raskreia, as we see her confront Raizel in the garden where her ire began, asking the noblesse what her father was truly like. Raizel quite literally picking the perfect words. He was a loving, doting parent. Raizel's return home was tumultuous to say the least, but in the end, it was a truly cathartic experience. Not only finally relieving the tense emotions that plagued the Lord, but he was able to exonerate his name. So where do we go from here? It seems Raizel is dead set on living a normal human life as we see him return to Japan. So my honest opinion on not only today's episode, but the entirety of the first season of Noblesse, amazing. This was such a well-paced series. It was unbelievable. It was a slow burn in the beginning, yet still had action, still had substance. There was an overall narrative being told, but it wasn't coming at you a mile a minute. The characters are interesting and unique. It takes an interesting approach on the tried and true, the god living among us, crossing over into vampiric elegance with beings known as nobles, captivating us with the potential of our protagonist as a traitor, yet still setting up a larger enemy in that of the Union. Several amazing fights, several confrontations, several rivalries, several flashbacks, all leading up to the finale in this such satisfactory way. This is such a self-contained season 1 with a beginning, a middle, and an end, yet I still want to learn more. I still want to watch this series. If God of High School focused primarily on the fights and Tower of God focused on character development and world building, Noblesse fell right in the middle. I am truly captivated by this series, and honestly, it deserves a second season. So with all that being said, and hopefully more Noblesse, I honestly cannot wait for future episodes.